Welcome back into Cougar Tracks here on KSL NewsRadio and the KSL Sports YouTube page. Mitch Harper with you, and BYU takes on Colorado, 8:15 p.m. on Saturday night. Extended pregame from Boulder begins at 6. Myself and Kyle Ireland will be on location getting you ready for the Cougs and the Buffs. It's a great coaching matchup with Kalani and Coach Prime, and there's also that element of revenge from the Alamo Bowl as BYU hammered Colorado last December in San Antonio. One of the great wins in BYU football bowl history, crushing Colorado. Coach Prime, though, he's not buying into that whole payback revenge stuff.
They mean a lot. Every game means a lot. This conference game means more. But, yeah, it's not like we ain't with that get-back stuff. I ain't with that get-back stuff. I'm with that let's get them stuff. So they played their butts off, kicked our butts in the bowl game. Now we have a whole new team. They have a similar team as well with under new management, meaning quarterbacking. And this is a good team, well-coached team, disciplined team. We got to be a lot more disciplined, not some of the pass interference, the PIs that we had and the stupid penalties that we had, unnecessary roughness. We got to stop all that foolishness and play a consistent game, prayerfully penalty-free.
You got to think, though, that those players on Colorado's team that did run it back this season and were part of that Alamo Bowl are pretty hyped to try to get another crack at BYU, particularly in the trenches. And I think that's where, I'm really curious to see how Colorado responds because BYU manhandled them up front. The size difference between BYU and Colorado last year was pretty noticeable. And I'm curious to see how Colorado players that were part of that game do respond in this one. For BYU, their offensive line is a little bit retooled from last year. And one of the new faces on that offensive front this year is starting right tackle Andrew Gentry, a Colorado native making his return home to face the hometown Buffs. This is my conversation with BYU starter Andrew Gentry here on Cougar Tracks. BYU football getting ready to take on the Colorado Buffaloes, and joining me now is Andrew Gentry, Colorado native from Littleton, Colorado. For our listeners, how close is Littleton to Boulder?
Yeah, I'm about an hour away, so nice and close to home. I'm excited to go back home and play out there. It'll be fun.
Are you going to have a big gathering of family that's going to be there to support you in Folsom Field?
Oh, yeah. There's going to be a lot of people that, one, are already out there in Colorado. Got a lot of, obviously, my immediate family, and then aunts and uncles and cousins that'll be out there as well, and then also some family that's traveling over from Utah as well to be over there. So going to have the whole crew over there, and that makes it even more fun.
Coach Prime wasn't at Colorado when you were going through the recruiting process, but did you consider the Buffs much when you were coming up as a recruit, a hometown kid?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a little bit. At that time, that was kind of the Mel Tucker era when they were doing some good things over there at Colorado. So definitely took a few visits up there, went on a few unofficials, went to a few game days. So I've been there in the game day atmosphere in Colorado. And it's a fun place to play a game, so I'm excited for that. But, so I spent a lot of time up there, just because it was so close and because of the proximity. I've seen quite a bit of Colorado. I've been around that program for a while, so excited to go back there.
This game have a little bit more personal to you. I saw just moments ago you were getting a little bit extra work after practice. Is it a byproduct of that, or what would you explain maybe just the little bit extra work today?
Yeah, I mean, I think the extra work really just to improve, right? Every day just to have constant improvement is how I look at it and how we look at it as a program as well. So just some things I want to clean up personally in my game. But at the same time, too, there's definitely added excitement going into Big 12 play. But at the same time, every week is preparing like it's the most important game because that's what it is, right? So right now, the only focus we have is Colorado. So just try to be the best right tackle I can be going into this week for our team.
How would you assess how you played in non-conference play through the first 3 games as you know it, getting ready now for Big 12 play?
Yeah, I think there's some good things and things to clean up, right? Happy overall with how I played, but never satisfied, right? Always trying to work and to get better. Those are some good teams that we played, but we're going to play a lot better. No offense to teams we've already played, but, we're going to play some really, really good teams coming up. And so I think, building on the good things, but then making sure that we improve on the things that need to be improved on as well.
As a transfer this year, you joined in the winter time, so you've had almost a calendar year to be part of this. But how have you just meshed with this entire offensive line? And I know you guys play about 6 or 7 guys in a given game, but just how do you think that you guys, how you've kind of meshed with all these new faces along the line?
I feel really good about it. Honestly, these guys have been awesome, and that's one thing. Coming into transfer, you never know how you're going to mesh with guys, and And these guys welcomed me in so well and treated me really well and have continued to treat me well. So I'm just really grateful for the teammates I have, because we have the best teammates in the world, and I love them and feel like we really meshed, from January, like you mentioned, when I got here, and in the wintertime working out, and then in spring ball, even though I wasn't participating in spring ball, just still feel like I meshed with them really well, and that's just continued in the season, and feel that we've played well as an offensive line, but still have a lot left in the tank that we can continue to give.
Last week, what was the feedback that Coach Woods gave you and the rest of the offensive line about the penalties on the O-line? Is that just kind of just mental mistakes? What would you chalk that up to last week?
Yeah, I think, there's partly the mental aspect of it, like you mentioned, but then also I think part of it too is just kind of the cost of doing business sometimes, right? That's kind of what happens when you're playing football, is you'll get a holding call here and there sometimes, and there's things that we can clean up, right? Getting hands inside, and so we focused on that this week of getting our hands inside on those holding penalties, and I had the hands to the face, right? So getting hands a little bit lower. But at the end of the day, right, you're going to get some of those holding penalties, and Coach Woods is good on, if we're playing physical and playing hard, he'd rather have that than, just the mental fortitude or the mental aspect of just getting a lot of. We didn't have many procedural penalties. We had a couple, but at the end of the day, right, I feel like we're locked in mentally, and now it's just getting a couple things technically cleaned up.
Do you get a sense this game means a little bit more to your left tackle teammate, Jada, who's former Buff himself?
Yeah, I think so. But at the same time, I think Jada has a really good mentality, too, of every week's important to him as well, right? That every week's the most important game. But like you mentioned, I think there definitely is that added aspect of, hey, this is his former team, and so he's excited to get in there and to, play his best. But he always plays his best, and he's been playing phenomenal this year, and so I'm just excited to see what he does in Colorado this week.
What stands out about Colorado's defensive front and the way they kind of go about their business on the defensive side?
Yeah, really good players. Number 53, Arden Walker, I played against him in high school twice, and so I know that he's a great player and did great things in high school when I played against him, so it'll be fun to play against him again. But then the rest of their D-line, too, is going to be the best D-line we faced, absolutely. They've got good edge rushers that I've been paying attention to, that do good things, that are dynamic, that are going to throw some good moves out there, that have had some good production this year. So looking forward to a better challenge this week. Not to say that the guys we've gone against are bad, but these are definitely the best guys we've seen yet this year, so super excited for that. And then they just have stout guys on the interior, and they're coached well. Coach Prime obviously has a lot of experience, and Warren Sapp, this is one of the best to ever do it. So they're getting coached up well, and it'll be a fun battle going in there.
Last few moments here with Andrew Gentry, and how are you enjoying just the BYU experience so far? Has it been everything that you hoped for, and the on-field product's looking good with you guys being now nationally ranked, but just has it been everything you hoped for when you transferred here?
Absolutely. I came here because I love Coach Sataki, I love Coach Woods, and the product that they're putting out there, and it's been nothing short of the expectations I had. It's exceeded expectations. I love the way that they've welcomed me in, but just love the program, love the culture that's being built here, and that's just, in part with Coach Sataki, what he's done, and then just the players that we have around here. I'm just so grateful for my teammates and my coaches and the way that they've built this program, and grateful that I could be a part of it.
Last thing, the culture seems like it's staying humble no matter what, and yeah, you guys are getting a little bit of accolades now. Everyone's been sleeping on you guys for the first few months. Is that getting to your guys' heads at all, or is it still just business as usual?
It's just business as usual, right? I think at the end of the day, it's cool that we're nationally ranked, but at the same time, I don't think we're satisfied with being number 25 either, right? Our goal is to always be the best and to work to be the best. So just because we're nationally ranked doesn't mean that we hit our goals, because we were shooting for a lot higher. And so every week is remaining humble and hungry, and we're grateful to be ranked, but at the same time, we're just grateful that every week to keep going, to keep moving forward, and to keep working to be the best that we can possibly be.
That's Andrew Gentry. Big thanks to BYU starting offensive tackle for joining me to discuss BYU and Colorado. And that's going to do it for this edition of Cougar Tracks. We will be back tomorrow with a score prediction, BYU Colorado in-depth preview, and an interview with Coach Sione Puha tomorrow on the program. Make sure to subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating and a review, and I'll talk to you tomorrow here on Cougar Tracks.